more team fight push.
Ooh.
Gods.
What?
Well, that hero is not bad against Bristleback.
Everyone
too
just took a
bad.
sharp
It's
inhale.
quite
Yeah.
it's okay, but
Seen this hero do well, like against the Dazzles, the heavy heals. Bristle, there's like a bit of heal and sustain, but
I don't know though. I
not.
don't really like it that much. I know the idea against Bristleback. That's how you want to take him down, but
Maybe they just don't want to be split up though. With the Nyx AA, they can
yeah.
stop any sort of split push coming out
I
from
can
Secret.
see that combo being more useful than directly dealing with the BB with the Ice Blast.
Maybe they want to pick like a Void too, get some good synergy, like a Chrono Ice Blast combo.
Void is definitely very good with their heroes now. But for Secret, they see the AA pick, they're like, They have some pick off, they have some team fight.
The nice thing is, you know, there isn't good save on Secret. Like we saw the game earlier against OG where there was an AA that just kept picking up Anna's DK. Like any one stun was like a guaranteed kill. So if they can get some good, like just one hero with some extra damage output to pair with some stuns, it's going to be very hard for the Secret frontliners to be kept alive.
Yep. And because they went for the Rubik, so they won't be having any natural saves right now. You're gonna have to like buy BKB, and then BKB doesn't work very well against DP. Very difficult game, very annoying.
Such a big part of the game being determined before a single second passes.
Yeah, but for IG, you do want to have like a saver for the DP. That's what we usually see when teams draft like a Death Prophet. You see like Oracle, Dazzles, those kind of heroes. But right now they have the A, so I'm not sure if they can fit any of those heroes in anymore. Even if they put the Nyx on the offlane position, Oracle A, Dazzle A doesn't sound like a good support duo at all.
Perhaps Tusk, Snowball, if they want to do like full position Tusk.
I like Tusk more. I like Tusk a lot more. Lifestealer.
Very good against Nyx and
AA.
AA, yeah.
Very solid pick here.
Yeah.
Good lanes. Does not have a vehicle yet, so that's going to be probably their last pick.
Yeah. It could be off lane or mid lane for the Bristleback, which means their last pick for the vehicle can come from either role as well.
I still like Dazzle. I think majority of their damage is physical. I think Weave works incredibly well.
But the thing is, like, if they do Dazzle,
Their lanes will suck.
their lanes are, and their composition is as well. Like they're gonna have like two really passive supports.
You don't
Dazzle A.
And Baboka playing like a Dazzle or AA does not sound like you're playing to his strengths.
I like the Tusk more, even like some Earth Spirit or whatever, something like that. More active. You want to be able to roam pressure because you have a mid DP. When you have a mid DP, you want a position for that can just go to the mid lane and pressure because you have Spirit Siphon.
Don't we expect mid Bristle probably coming out from Secret though? Isn't that going to be a very difficult lane for them to pressure?
Oh, the Void.
Yep. Not sure though, but I think if they do run the Bristol mid, you can still do a lot of like harass to him. Like Bristol is not going to be too comfortable in the lane if he knows that the Earth Spirit or any kind of roaming hero is always going to be there. A Spirit Siphon into a slow from Earth Spirit, stun.
The Void pick mentioned earlier, and this is so good against like their entire draft. Time dilation against Bristle, you've got a BKB or Rage Piercing lockdown in the Chronosphere to try and deal with Lifestealer. Great synergy between the Void with the AA and the Death Prophet. I feel like this pick really pulls IG's draft together.
The Nyx is more or less their support right now, unless they do Void carry, which I'm not sure if a team like IG would run. We've seen it a few times from LGD, but not sure.
Like a few teams, even Liquid did that.
Yeah, Liquid, but is it a burning hero? I'm not very sure.
The hero is still 100% win rate. It's 9-0 faces Void at this tournament. That is actually insane. Like you see these heroes pick like 3 or 4 times with 100% win rate, but that's 9 games of Void by a wide array of teams.
It's mostly just carry, right? It's not even an offlane Void.
I think it's been
like half and half,
maybe a bit over half carry. Universe has played most of the offlane ones. Liquid's played it carry. Planet Odd played it in the offlane too. So
and LGD plays it on the carry as well.
So it's probably been about close to half and half.
5 seconds remaining.
So they ban out the puck, the vehicle for the Lifestealer.
Ban out the Burning Sven. They're expecting like an offlane Void with some kind of DPS here for burning.
Sven is pretty good against the Lifestealer, and I think Sven DP also a classic combo.
Ooh,
their lineup is solid.
Yeah, this is
Razor totally owns Bristleback and Lifestealer because of the static link.
IG's draft looks insanely good as far as like how it comes together and also how hard it counters Secret.
I mean, they're gonna want to pick like some Tide right now. Team fight. Tide against...
Tide's not good versus Void though.
Do they not need a vehicle still? Like I feel like to make this Lifestealer work against Chrono, static
what vehicle is there? All of them get owned by Nyx. bad.
I think you still have
call.
to just pick the Storm or something, even though it gets owned. Like,
Reserve time.
you have to think, what does your draft need, not what's going to get countered, because...
I think they need teamfight offlaner.
Yeah. Wow. It's an unexpected one.
Everyone falls silent. Everybody okay? Bloodseeker throwing a spanner in the
Okay.
works there?
I mean, there was a Miracle Bloodseeker mid at the start of the tournament. I think we're going to be seeing a Bloodseeker mid again. So.
But it's very hard to see how they're gonna come up with a plan to win the game, though. The Bloodseeker's meant to own his lane or counter a certain hero. I'm not very sure,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go with IG here.
Going for the IG prediction, Ben.
I'm going with IG
That
as well.
draft has kind of besotted you all.
Yeah, I think IG's draft is perfect for them for a game like this.
Well, I think you heard it enough from us here at the analyst desk. This game is underway. Strap yourselves in, because it's going to be a day of Dota. The first game of the first series of our first day of playoffs is about to begin. And I have to introduce now the voices that will be filling the VTB arena. In fact, they are in the center of Epicenter. It's Toby and Fogged.
Thanks a lot. Yes, we'll be trying to compete with the Russians who are here, getting very excited about this series. But right now, man, we were both in shock and awe at just how well IG have changed their draft and seem to have perfectly got Secret's number.
I was expecting to see very similar stuff that they've been drafting from the recent days. This is just a completely different changeup. Death Prophet similar, Void similar, but then Nyx Assassin, Deny picking YapzOr. You saw how heavily they emphasized and focusing, and they're like, we can't let this guy do his thing.
Yeah, they shut him down the first two phase, and then it appears like all the lanes have just become absolute chaos. How does Secret salvage this? They come up with the Bloodseeker. What's the point of this as the 5th pick?
I think it's pretty good versus the Void. You get him like locked down and everything. Also the chasing kind of mechanic versus the Death Prophet. You want to be able to run in and run around and everything. If you just lock him down, you can kind of avoid that kind of ultimate. But they have a very tough game planned out for them. This Razor last pick into Bristleback Lifestealer, and then they last pick this the Bloodseeker too. It's like, it's definitely a bit worrying for Secret.
It didn't even seem like Team Secret were going to have a bad time at the start of it. It's like, okay, you open with the Crystal Maiden and that, and then the Ancient Apparition gets stolen from them. Technically as well, the Nyx block up pick as well. Like, all of these things are just nicely tying together for Invictus Gaming, where they just have this huge advantage over Team Secret. So if Secret win this one, they'll work hard, they'll come through great plays, and that means fantastic Dota. That's all we want.
It's going to be a lot up to lanes. This is the one thing that Secret can do, is they can just kind of go crazy in the lanes, and that's when they can be at an advantage. But IG's teamfight is infinitely stronger. Secret really doesn't have a great teamfight at all. They just need to do well in the lanes. I think they're going to set up some type of aggro tri-lane. I believe it's going to be MP left in like a 1v1 kind of scenario versus the Void. And they're going to run an aggro just so that the Bloodseeker always has Thirst online, so they can just constantly run at the Death Prophet, because that's kind of an old strategy people did with Bloodseeker. So it can be pretty ridiculous. Like, you just keep him always, keep the enemy heroes always pressured and low, and his damage in the lane is pretty much unbeatable with Blood Rage.
Well, let's get it underway. So Invictus Gaming, they were able, well, I'll say to match up against Team Secret. That's only because of the fellow Chinese team, LFY, who crushed Team Secret with the Faceless Void yesterday and all the extra combinations they were running. So Team Secret need to make this work. So you'll have YapzOr, as well as the Bristleback headed towards the offlane with the Crystal Maidens. They'll try the aggro tri-lane, Lifestealer on the bottom, and then in towards the mid will be the Bloodseeker. So that one-on-one matchup, not exactly against the hero they thought they were probably against.
Will they get this D-Ward? Oh, they actually get the lift right away.
Q, there needs to be a follow-up. Frostbite's going to be there. Q, not really that fast. And Team Secret, the damage may just be enough. Bovika tries to create space. Able to do so, but KheZu can still reach him. The Quills get just far enough at max range to reach the Ancient Apparition and give Team Secret's aggro tri-lane first blood.
This is like Secret with Rubik in a nutshell. These guys love to do this whenever they have the chance. They see a chance to go for aggro, they're going to do it.
And then they realize they got the advantage. You already pushed the Crystal Maiden back down to the Secret Shop. She's already able to start that farm.
I think you should definitely do that, just because you don't want to split tri-lane experience like this. Crystal Maiden, you want your level 2 as fast as possible. He's going to have it soon too, because it's a Satyr.
It's fun lane for mid one up against OP. As long as the other lanes keep going well, then mid one can get that buff up, but OP's got to be careful about that. If that aggressive tri-lane works well for Team Secret, it opens up mid one to attack into the Death Prophet, maybe catching her with Spirit Siphon down.
Yeah, it's that, and also, like, you know, the race to boots is pretty much what's going to be in the mid lane. I think OP actually already bought them. He already started to recognize, like, okay, sure, he wants a bottle in the mid lane, but you can get run down. If this Bloodseeker gets boots, they get somebody low, you actually will just get ran down and killed by this Bloodseeker in the mid lane.
And MP's our last lane up against XSS.
Yep.
So Faceless Void, it's a one-on-one lane, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get that early Chronosphere up. So as far as the combinations for IG for their team fight goes, the only thing which is probably going to be delayed is the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. That's going to be the only thing that's slow, and that's because of the top lane.
Yeah, they have to pretty much full tri-lane. This is good to secure KheZu's farm from Team Secret as well. So it's kind of, they're doing like a trade-off, right? It's like, okay, we're going to leave this 1v1, so Void's going to get a bit more in this game, but the Bristleback is, when you pick Bristleback, he's pretty much super important to the entire game plan you have going, so you can't let him have a rough time, and he would have had a very, very miserable time versus AA, Razor, Nyx. Yeah,
that's just a horrendous lane for him. But everything's settled down a little bit here for Invictus Gaming, so while Razor's CS isn't the best, burning sitting at 8-5, you're still getting 13-5, 13-1 on the Void as well as the Death Prophet. So Invictus Gaming, the lanes are probably a hell of a lot better for Team Secret than we were expecting.
Well, that's what we kind of said, right? The lanes are the big ones for them to come out. It's, when IG gets more levels, it's when it's much more problematic for them. For Secret.
Bobika and Puppey just playing around. Top lane is where the issues are, however. Q has to cut through the tree line to get his path back to the safety of the Tier 1 tower. This is the movement up from Team Secret to try and contest the pull of Invictus Gaming.
I'd like to see Secret, at least Puppey, whenever he gets a chance, in between his jungling, stack up those Ancients. Super important in case the Bristle, just to have like that farming mechanism for the Bristle to catch up, or to just boost him forward even faster.
Well, they're wrapping around inside the mid lane, looking for that kill onto mid 1.
Very low mana on OP though. He's got a Spirit Siphon.
And that may just be enough. If Bobika can body block him up, they hold mid 1 there in position. But now, okay, Spy Carapace will stun him the second he hits in. Puppey and YapzOr arrive just a little bit too late. The damage up the hill, it is enough to reach Bobika. YapzOr's Fade Bolt at level 2 gave him just enough damage to bring down the next assassin, but it's still a support for a mid laner.
Yeah, mid 1 not really kind of expecting the Carapace, it seemed. He wanted to build the man up because he was getting tons of, his thirst was building up heavily, but getting that Carapace back on him. If he had just been able to back up a little bit faster, I think his teammates actually would have been able to make it there to maybe save him or maybe get a better kind of trade. But still, at least they get one.
Yep.
So YapzOr with just very good movements coming out. They already kind of secured KheZu. They're like, okay, you've got pretty good farm, you're level 3. You're kind of be on your own. We don't want anything to happen just because that's what you want to do when you're playing a 4. Mirror the other 4's movements.
Chase him everywhere you can. Bobika's already back now and towards the mid lane. So waiting behind him, as you said, KheZu. Waiting for this kind of attack, but thanks to the Observer that's on the Secret side, they see basically everything, and mid 1's getting aggressive once more on OP.
His denies 28 and 19. So look at his experience in comparison to the Death Prophet. Even though they killed him first, he is still almost a full level ahead of this.
I was watching the mid lane before, and mid 1 actually prioritized hitting denies over getting a gold and gaining the last hit.
Yep.
So
all about that Blood Rage, getting that health back. I mean, denies are great too because of the experience change. That's why Bloodseeker, we're seeing kind of like a rise.
A lot of movement up towards the top. KheZu on the run, the Vortex slowing him down. Burning still dealing a lot of damage here. YapzOr's going to move over, picking up Burning, throwing him back in. That's 112 damage points stolen, but Burning, he needs life to deal damage, and he just doesn't have it. Stuck way too long on top of KheZu as the Quills stack up, and that movement speed and the vision. Mid 1, they find Q. One punch underneath the tower. And Team Secret making good work of a draft that seemed really poor for them.
The lanes, man. They did the lanes in the way that they wanted. They knew what kind of aggression they wanted to put onto the Razor.
Oh, MP, trouble for him, but then again, he's actually, he doesn't have Infest up just yet. Bobika going to spy Carapace. MP has to rage and walk away.
Secret seems to be doing this a lot of their games. Just, they kind of leave MP on his own. They're like, all right, you're going to do fine. You'll be all right, buddy. And then they focus a lot more on KheZu. Like the panel kind of mentioned, KheZu's a lot more farm-dependent offlaner than we see some other players, and that's the style that they like to play with him, so yep. It's good that they play around that. And they're actually pretty much taking the safe
going to try and defend this. Mid 1's already taken the town. Now he has to run himself away. Rupture is available. Puppey's in the neighborhood. Are they leaving him for dead? No, there's a Frostbite onto the Exorcism up Death Prophet. Mid 1 has the distance. KheZu, however, doesn't have the mana. So YapzOr is up to him. Does he actually cliff him? No, he just throws him back a little bit further. So burning an OP, low on life. YapzOr with the Ice Bolt. You know who's coming in. He's coming in from the top. There's Puppey with the Frost. He can actually let nothing go, but OP YapzOr will bring him down. Mid1 will sacrifice his life. You did actually lose the Bristleback in this entire thing. If you lose YapzOr as well, and Victus Gaming, now they're starting to rack up the kills. KheZu back to the world of the living, but it's all a little too late.
Mid1 underestimating how much damage you really take under Ice Vortex. Spirit Siphon, Ice Vortex. Yeah, lots of damage.
Have to back out next time and just play these fights, but that lesson, if you learn it, be okay for the next time around. YapzOr's been having a terrific game, 2-1-2.
Yep.
Now over on this Rubik, he always manages to find these early arcane boosts, which are going to be great enablers when you already have the Crystal Maiden. We've seen the mana being low on the Bristleback, and up against Nyx Assassin, they're going to need the arcanes.
Yeah, I mean, he rushed the Urn this time around, though.
He did?
I think I'm not sure if he actually even bought it before. I think he didn't get it before he died, but Urn is super powerful, especially when you're getting kills like this. When you're just running at an enemy team this early, the potential from Urn is massive.
And he's already got that 7 minutes in. That's good for him.
And he's almost level 6, too. And as we kind of mentioned, like, Rubik this game has incredible spells to steal.
XSS is trying to bait this out slowly now. There's no vision. So Team Secret, MP does not know that the rotations come down for both Bobika and Q. Now they'll know as Puppey moves over. He's actually underneath that dire Observer ward.
I think they kind of have a feeling that there were people down there, just because look where Mid1's positioned top. He is literally just running at the lane. Burning's not farming there, so he's like, all right, supports are up to something if they're not pressuring me out of the lane. Still haven't seen any ancient stacks coming out from Secret is my one criticism coming out, because I do think that they should do that, just because it's great with it's great with Bristleback. You can even Blood Rage him and he gets the close out even faster and brings it down quicker. A lot of different things, but either way, he's just keeping his pressure up on top lane. They just want to keep burning in the lane, keep pressuring that tower. And getting safe lane is like absolutely massive for them.
Still can't believe just how much gold they've got on their 3 cores. Like, all 3 of them are on the top 3 net worths on the board. Then you hit the Death Prophet Razor and Faceless Void. But I haven't seen Invictus Gaming yet go for the big attack, and that's probably where we should turn our eyes to, like, as they want to turn the lights off. Like, Chronosphere has not been used yet. Yeah. Nyx Assassin still is not level 6. He's still not looking for the fights. Ice Blast is not up yet. Maybe another reason why Void Chrono hasn't been used. And then you had the Death Prophet Exorcism was used to defend the top tier 1 tower and was ineffective. So really, while things are looking good for Team Secret, I'm wondering if Team Secret will be able to weather the attack that's coming from Invictus Gaming.
That is the fear. You know, we touched on it a little bit before the game started, is as soon as IG gets their 6s, that's where it's like the team fight just becomes a lot different, the way that Secret has to approach it. But with this kind of advantage, you know, it's only 3,000 gold right now, but 3,000 at this time is quite nice. Like you said, the core is all a bit ahead just because they've gotten that tower gold and they've gotten a couple more kills as well. The experience as well, like that's what kind of happens when you're playing with this like Crystal Maiden who just sits in the jungle. You're able to disperse your levels a lot easier. So Rubik is already level 6, and they're actually looking for the fight themselves first. Scan actually catches Secret's rotation coming toward bottom, but
yeah, they're already pinging, and Invictus Gaming moving back to the tier 1 tower, but they may be okay to fight here. You have Chrono, you have Exorcism. It should be Invictus Gaming, even though you don't have the Ice Blast, that should have the advantage in the fight.
Unless they're outnumbered.
Yeah.
If they only have 3, it can be problematic.
Yeah, but you still got Bristleback attacking Burning on the top lane. Like, he's keeping so much pressure up there.
And KheZu's got Vanguard, he's got a Soul Ring in a second too. He's actually insanely farmed this game.
Like how they're giving Puppey now the space in the mid lane. Probably the one person that can keep OP out. Rubik would be the other one, but they're going to bring Bloodseeker into the mid lane. So, Rupture. I don't know if they're actually going to get close enough to use it. Yep, there goes your Rupture on top of OP. OP just as a smart thing, that's the TP, but Puppey waits now perfectly with the Frostbite. OP inching back up the high ground. He will survive this. There was not enough follow and not enough commitment from Mid1 and Puppey to bring him down. You kind of almost need a freezing field to force him to walk inside the Rupture.
Yeah, they don't have level 6 on Crystal Maiden. YapzOr maybe could have TP'd as soon as the Rupture came out to try to go for something there, but wasn't able to. He TP'd a bit afterwards.
But there's one way to get the damage, just throw him around with telekinesis.
Yeah. It's scary playing. That's what we're concerned about it for the draft. It's very scary playing like Bloodseeker, Lifestealer into a Death Prophet. Because you have to run into Spirit Siphon. You don't really have incredible like burst damage either on the side of Secret. And usually when you're playing versus Death Prophet, you want to have like kind of like you can bring him down in like one kind of go. But they have to kind of whittle him down slowly.
The sacrifice they had to make to salvage this draft and then play through it. Meanwhile, now, XSS getting a lot of space down that bottom lane, but it's IG who are the ones being aggressive. 3-man smoke up towards the top lane, so they don't have the Faceless Void in this fight because he is farming the bottom lane, but the easy wrap around on top of KheZu, out way too far. The Ice Blast will kick in as well. No way for KheZu to regenerate and survive that. Support was trying to be lent just by the Bloodseeker, but there was nothing he could do about that. Good movement from Invictus Gaming. KheZu will drop.
Yep, killing the highest net worth hero, getting a lot of experience going the way of both of them. Q did, I believe, eat the tome there, so he was level 6 with that Ice Blast, which is pretty crucial for them to actually bring him down.
First reveal of it, almost feels like the first reveal of a Blink Dagger. Make sure that Ice Blast gets a kill when Team Secret are not looking for it.
Yeah. Secret's playing it a bit more passive right now. We have mid one, he queues up a Midas. MP's going for, he's waiting for his armlet to get really involved. YapzOr was farming mid for his arcane boost, so they're taking a step back on the aggression, and IG takes advantage of that.
Can they really do that though, Team Secret? Like, you want to go for these Midases playing for the late game. Is that even going to be a victory then? Like, Razor, Death Prophet, Faceless Void, how do you feel like they match up against the Lifestealer, Bristle, and Darkseer, and Bloodseeker, sorry, going into the game? It
depends on how they take the fights. I think, of course, IG has clear advantage in a 5v5, but if they're able to like get like a pick off with like the Bloodseeker, with the Rubik, or like infested Bloodseeker or something along those lines, they can change the tides of the game quickly. But I think if they want to be able to, if they want to do efficiency, it comes through stacking Ancients, not through just farming individually.
But for now, that hasn't been happening. They keep the pressure on top of the towers, trying to keep IG deeper on their side of the river. KheZu, the man to jump forward. He goes to Chronosphere, combining with the Spirit Siphon. Now, nice blast as well.
Nice
the Chronosphere stolen by YapzOr, locking him, burning as well as Cupid. KheZu, he should still go down, but the damage he has done, it will be enough to help Team Secret not just win this fight, walk over this fight. Burning's on speed right now, looking to go in deeper. XSS actually with the death of these heroes. Now he's got the movement speed, killing off Q. Mid one has a triple kill. Beautiful. And Invictus Gaming just got YapzOr.
That is the one. That is also another element that comes into these kind of fights, right? It's like, what spell is YapzOr gonna steal? Steals the perfect one that time, prioritizing the Chronosphere over the Exorcism. I think he could have gotten the Exorcism, but Chrono there completely messing up everything that IG had coming out. And now it's a tower. They've got Midas finished up on mid one. They've got the armlet finished up. They've got all their key items for this early game.
That's so huge as well. The amount of damage that Bristleback was able to do. Yep. He had his back turned to Invictus Gaming the entire time, and just the sprays and sprays and sprays just allowed Team Secret to capitalize on it.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Hood build again this game. I actually really like it versus AA to kind of counteract, AA and Death Prophet to counteract the Ice Vortex. And if he, I mean, the longer he lives in those situations, the better the fight just goes for Secret. There's no Exorcism now online, there's no Chrono. This is Secret's position to be on the aggressive as they are pushing bottom. And
they're not even committing heavily. Bloodseeker's moving over now. YapzOr is not there.
He wanted to push out mid. He saw Death Prophet walking up and pressuring the tower, so they're feeling very good to spread their resources.
And Invictus Gaming, well, they can hold their bottom tower for now. OP still wants to get the Yule Scepter. If he can pick that up in the fight, then you got a little bit more escape and survivability. That's one thing the supports from Invictus Gaming do not offer the Death Prophet. YapzOr being stalked by the bugs. And, well, it's an infestation. Ice Blast will connect. YapzOr will fall. He's actually quite a decent kill, but with the rupture on Bobika, he's got no other choice but to die. Okay, maybe he can TP out. The damage, it will be enough from Team Secret to find the kill, and they'll continue the pressure now on the bottom lane on the Tier 1 tower.
IG just was trying to find anything they can there to try to push them off the tower, because they can't take a straight team fight versus Secret's lineup. Secret not really reliant on ultimates too much this game. Sure, they have like CM freezing field, but that's not something they need for team fights. IG very reliant on their heavy long cooldown spells. 145 on Death Prophet and 140 on the Void Chrono. Whenever those are down, Secret has a big window.
Alright, so for now, ultis are up for Invictus Gaming, but they're not going to do anything with it. They're just controlling up their own jungle. This is allowing the Midas to start kicking in. Mid one with his own, but the Yule Scepter is here for OP. Burns a Clarity as well, so it's got to be that time for Invictus Gaming to be the ones who dictate the terms of the fight. Like, you initiated him before, and you initiated on the bristleback. Now, if we've learned any lessons, you don't initiate a bristleback. You try and stay away from him as much as possible.
I mean, he's got Hood now. He's level 10, so he took the 8 strength. He's getting extremely buffed, 1600 HP on him, much more than that with effective HP. And the big thing is too that IG has already lost all 3 of their tier 1s. So what happens when you lose all 3 tier 1s this early is your windows of kind of ganking and finding those type of team fights is much harder because it's very obvious. If your lanes are getting pushed in, they know exactly where you are if you're making a smoke type movement.
So that's when they have to rely on the Nyx Assassin. Get that extra information. He just put an aggressive ward down the Radiant jungle. It wouldn't have been scouted out by Team Secret, but they're pressuring to bottom him. But no Chronosphere. Faceless Void is not in this fight. Ancient Apparition is on the way, but Void currently is just farming up on the top lane.
Puppey scouts them out now.
Alright, and Invictus Gaming are going to give it up.
XXS is setting up for top.
Too tanky.
Mid one.
Yeah, Baboka's come over.
Serious trouble.
Yeah, Chronosphere. XSS didn't want to do it. Baboka actually walked into it. He still wants to get the Vendetta. The Ice Blast should be able to clip mid one. Thanks to the stun from Baboka. Mid one had no other choice but to stay there. Now YapzOr, the counter Chrono once more. Almost dragging XSS outside the Chrono. Not that it really matters. He can still walk around inside of it. That MP, the damage output with the Nova. They have enough. Faceless Void will drop on Baboka. He can't get out of Puppey's freezing field, but it's YapzOr. The man kill securing, but rightly so. He makes it work so much for Team Secret. What a nice pickup of a player for this roster.
What a Rubik game too. He's already stolen Chronosphere twice in perfect situations.
Now top lane, they're on the run. Razor might be pushing out the mid. He should be able to take the tier 1 town. They're actually TPing in to defend it at the moment. But Invictus Gaming keep the pressure off the top lane at least.
So the thing is that they did get the kill on mid one, which is cool for IG, but their lineup, they actually want to fight on the enemy towers, especially when you're playing with like Death Prophet like this. They don't really have great push besides Exorcism. So when they do use Chronosphere there, it's like, nice, we got a kill, but it's not a kill that leads into an objective anymore. It's just a kill. So Secret actually comes way out ahead in that one. And now Chronosphere is down for another 70 seconds. Sure, they have Death Prophet ultimate, but Secret is way stronger still at this point.
Yeah, and they're going to make the most out of the time. The Nyx Assassin looks like he's wrapping around the back. Right now, we're watching Team Secret. They move to the tier 2 tower on the top lane under the cover of smoke.
Baboka broke YapzOr's smoke, and he actually pinged them out, so they know that this aggression was coming toward the top lane.
And they just back off. They, like Invictus Gaming, are not going to take this tier 2 tower fight. There's no pickup opportunities as well on the run. So pressure the bottom tier 1 tower. Hope the Team Secret bring, like, underforced back, like, defense. And the Dire is scanning it. Burning is wondering, like, if anyone's going to come and defend this. There's no one behind the tower, so Team Secret will, in fact, they'll accept the fact the tier 2 tower goes down the top. They'll deny up the mid tower and then lose their bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, they claim the tier 2 top. And defending that safe lane tower is a nightmare, especially if you don't have like the best vision in the world of like all of the enemy heroes. You can just get sandwiched and surrounded way too easily. And it's not like that one really is incredibly important. They'd already lost their mid tower, so access into their jungle was already kind of there for IG. So losing that bottom tower at this point, it's already 18 minutes. They already did their defense properly to hold it that long.
Now, I'm wondering if Team Secret, though, are going to have a repeat of that game against LFY. Obviously, the drafts were very different yesterday, but LFY's Chronosphere kind of destroyed Team Secret after that Blink Dagger got purchased, and now it is on the Faceless Void. So positioning should be a hell of a lot better, and maybe able to use Time Walk, blink in Chrono, and then Time Walk off, so the Chronos can stop being stolen by YapzOr. That's one way to do it. Silence up YapzOr. He's the primary target of Invictus Gaming. Meanwhile, the Chrono is out. KheZu and MP caught inside this. OP, hey, actually isn't doing enough damage. He has to stand where he is. The Yule Scepter up. Thanks to the static link, however, Burning's getting some good damage, but KheZu still the front man on the line. The stacks are starting to really accrue, and IG, they can't stay around. There's 4 bristle stacks at mid one, thanks to people being low, can just charge his way forward. Right now, Team Secret haven't lost anything. In fact, they're the ones pushing forward, looking for the kill on the Burning with Mr. Stolen Exorcism. YapzOr is a god!
Thank God for Puppey's Glimmer Cape there. He actually completely saves YapzOr there. YapzOr's able to steal Exorcism, but the sustain on the side of Secret right now is just too much for them to handle.
Oh, finally, can they... Oh,
my
we
God.
moved just down in time.
They got a glimpse of it, though. They have a sentry ward there, so they did see where it was going to be detonating for just like a hot second.
Oh boy, Team Secret.
That was excellent teamwork there by them, though. The way they positioned themselves in the tree line there, it's almost like they knew the wraparound was kind of coming from there, from IG. Not able to get the best Chrono. He couldn't get either of the supports in that Chrono, so they were able to just thrive there. The Glimmer Cape pick up by Puppey. I mean, he's so farmed. Like, this Crystal Maiden has Glimmer Cape already with Raindrop. YapzOr as well having that Arcane Drums. It was just like these little things just added up in that team fight.
And when you actually commit so hard to kill off a Rubik and you're incapable of doing that, that's more than a warning bell for Invictus Gaming.
Mid one though, they seem to just be praying on
Ice Blast is perfect. It's going to connect, time lock, stuns, and mid one will fall down. He is the second highest net worth on the field, but that death he will fall below that.
Yep, he's going for the Radiance build, so he's going for like the late game build, which is good. That'll be very strong versus the Razor and the Void.
YapzOr wants to go again. 38 seconds until he's got the Exorcism off cooldown.
Yeah. The concern is that mid one keeps dying though, definitely. Yep. MP is doing pretty decent on net worth, but he's starting to fall a little bit behind the Razor and the Void. And XXS, looking for the build, since he was put in a 1v1 scenario, sure he's going the Blink, sure he's going the Aghanims, like these kind of utility builds, but his talents say otherwise. We usually see people take the 8 strength, they take the 7 armor. This time around, he takes the 15 attack speed, he takes the 25 damage. So he's recognizing, I need to be a damage dealing core in this game, because we're suffering a bit versus these kind of engagements that Secret's getting.
Yeah, look at him just run from KheZu. They don't want to be involved. Solar Crest, Vanguard, Hood. Not too shabby for a Bristleback, and thanks to his Warpath stacks, he just continues to spam out heavy amounts of damage.
CM Aura.
Or Boboka finds an opportunity on YapzOr, and then you'll see MP and realize this ain't no opportunity unless his opportunity is death. Now, Team Secret, they're moving closer to Roshan. Sentry Wards preparing for it, and with a double damage rune sitting there fresh.
Ooh, with Solar Crest, with the level 3 goo as well, and Exorcism, this could be a really good, this could be really fast death of Roshan. I don't think IG is going to be able to get here in time at all.
It was also the end of the Soul Exorcism. YapzOr triggers it just a fraction of a second beforehand with a double damage rune. Yeah, Invictus Gaming, they've lost this. Roshan is going to go the way of Team Secret. The Ice Blast, unless it kills Roshan, it also comes too late. Roshan taken by Secret. And KheZu has the Aegis of the Immortal, and yeah, our stage just vibrated.
We both looked up like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah, it's like, wait, is someone doing something on the stage?
So Solar Crest finished up for Death Prophet, IG making a smoke movement, trying to play around their vision since they have those aggressive wards put down. And right now, I mean, they're in a big fear of taking this fight versus Secret. They have to look for the back lines if they really want to, because KheZu's no fear whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
As he should.
Now the double damage wears off, at least that's one upside for Invictus Gaming, but they have to defend high ground. That's all this is. They have to wait for Team Secret to come into the choke point. And then battle from a better position, a position of vision dominance, and basically go full OB1. I have the high ground kind of style.
Okay, mid one changed his build. He actually went for the Aghanim Scepter this game. I think this was actually, I actually liked this better, like in hindsight, versus Death Prophet and Razor. Like this build, you just rupture both of them in fights and they can't do anything really.
Yeah. Teamfight dominance through rupture.
Yeah.
KheZu can lose all the damage he wants. He doesn't really care about that. The Quills do most of the work in the fight anyway. Pushing into the buildings, losing 70 damage, it hurts, but it's not terrible.
They're getting slow damage on the tower here.
Yep.
I think they're going to probably respond to bottom soon, just because they don't really push buildings that great.
And there's the double TP, so we should head down south. As Invictus Gaming, they start to run away already, and this is the IG vision. Very aggressive inside the jungle, a little bit more of an, I don't say an unusual position. It's just a little bit further south than the normal dire observer than one of the mid lanes. So they can see Team Secret's defense and movements, at least inside the jungle. So they'll know when Team Secret back up, so Invictus Gaming can then leave the safety of their home. God, is he actually going to have a 4-star as well soon, Puppey?
Yeah, he's very farmed. YapzOr as well has his Blink Dagger finished up. The two supports are the big net worth difference in comparison to IG.
The
6,000.
3K net worth on the Ancient Apparition. Did he even go Hand of Midas in this game?
No, he went for team fighting build.
All right. And now protection as well. That's a Lotus Orb in his build, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting Lotus Orb game. He's just trying to get them to... Like there's some very good spells he can reflect. The Rupture being probably the most attainable one.
Well, Spy Carapace comes off from Boboka. I think he was worried that KheZu saw him.
I think we might see a gem getting picked up by Secret pretty soon. After they get these two next big items, the Force Staff is about to be almost finished on Crystal Maiden. YapzOr already has that Blink, so now they have an Infest Bomb. They have the Blink Rubik, they haven't infested up. They're looking for some type of opportunity here. Trying to find the Void.
I love how the Rubik is the carrier. Like Lifesteal normally works with heroes like Puck, the hero that was banned out in the later part of this drafting phase. Now you get the Rubik being your initiator.
They've got no one else.
It's very true. And
XSS.
you can look towards the top lane. That's where the kill is going to come. XSS sitting in the tree lines, and YapzOr's going to find him and pick him up, throw him down, and the damage output. He'll time walk it off, however. MP, open wounds. XSS cannot get out, or he has to Chronosphere. YapzOr keeping the Blink Dagger on cooldown. Can't do it. Into the tree lines. Time walk, he has it himself. Blink up. He jumps the wrong way. Can't see him in time, and also doesn't have a stun available. So XSS is able to survive the attack.
But it commits a chrono pre-Aghanim Scepter, so they know it's down for about at least 100 seconds, and they're going to be able to siege it tier 2.
Bottom lane.
With
Support's coming in though. TP Baborka. It's going to come from the rear. Puppey, thanks to the Observer and Sentry, he just planted down, sees a lot, and YapzOr's able to capitalize on it. Catching out Baborka. Spike Carapace will buy a little bit of time, but then the stun is stolen by YapzOr. That'll basically put him on a spike, and we're having Nyx tonight.
You see those fast rotations? That's what this patch is all about. Secret, they try to make a move top instead of like sitting there and MP like farms the lane and YapzOr like backs up. No, they TP bottom and they go for pressuring because they still have Aegis. They want to use this advantage as much as they can and just press it.
And they're able to do so. 44 seconds, gotta watch that counter. KheZu will come up. He's okay if they expend multiple abilities to kill him off. YapzOr jumps in, picks up OP, throws him back down again, using the double stuns. And then Yule Scepter. Okay, we'll buy a little bit more time for OP to stand exactly where he is. Ice Blast, KheZu, MP trying to dodge it by jumping inside KheZu, but KheZu's so low, he has to back up. It is a low Ice Blast, however, so he shouldn't go within the threshold.
They couldn't hurt the Death Prophet at all with the freshly picked up Plate Mail with Solar Crest as well on top. He's got way too much damage reduction. YapzOr also actually whiffed his Impale. He blinked in, tried to Impale, then lift and throw him back. So maybe with that increased disable, they would have been able to get him if the Blood Right ticked on him. But still, you see how tanky this Death Prophet can be with this build, with Spirit Siphon on top of Ice Vortex.
Yeah. Team Secret are going to need more to break the high ground. Meanwhile, they actually lost out in a trade. The tier 1 tower on the top lane was taken by Invictus Gaming. So they got space, they got money. And this is a scary prospect for Team Secret. Their lineup is good, but they're losing their powerhouse at the moment.
They just have, like we said, they don't have these like heavy bursting heroes. They have this like slow whittle damage. Sure, Lifestealer has Desolator Armlet, but versus Plate Mail, versus Solar Crest, versus all this type of armor, it's tough.
And there's so much of Team Secret sitting behind it. Like, you kind of want to take the bounty as well, but he doesn't know if he's in vision. Yeah, okay, there's no fight to be had.
You know, Baboka is 1-6 this game, but the invisible kind of impact that he's having is actually massive. The wards that he's been putting down, he just Vendettas up, gets a very deep ward, scouting the movements coming out from them, even tanking the gank a few times.
I think that's a lot about like Invictus Gaming. Okay, 32 wards actually were being purchased by the Ancient Apparition, so you're even saving him the money.
Yeah.
Did you see that gem get purchased as well?
YapzOr just picked it up. I thought they were going to do this. I thought they were going to do it a couple minutes ago, but now they finally got the gold. Puppey has the 4-staff finished up. YapzOr just got the gold a little bit faster, so as soon as they got it, the gold, they actually did do it. AC, the next item going to be queued up for KheZu. Just high ground sieging. They need some more physical damage to break through that Death Prophet as well.
Still stupid that YapzOr is the best initiator that Team Secret have at the moment. like you just got a double damage rune and Lifesteal's like, I'm still going to stay inside of YapzOr. I need my delivery system.
Well, I mean, the thing is that he can get kited so hard. Like, getting into the backlines for a Lifestealer this game is so difficult. Like we said, like the chrono, the static link, there's just so many different things to just like disrupt him from really getting over there. So he needs to go inside of YapzOr.
Well, they want the mid push. Unfortunately for Team Secret, Invictus Gaming are pressuring top lane once more. And there's your jump forward. YapzOr goes for Baborka. He doesn't want to let the stun go just yet. Let the time lock go. Baborka caught on the edge of the Chronosphere. Mid one will actually see him now and rip him apart. No way to survive. Faceless Void will get out, but he had to expend his own Chronosphere.
Again, Baboka being the sacrificial lamb. YapzOr actually just off the mark with his Impale again. So I think they actually would have gotten XXS that time, but just a bit unfortunate for him.
And so Nyx Assassin will fall. Small opportunity while Chronosphere is down. But it is an Aghanim Scepter, so he's a lot happier being liberal with it. You got another 22 seconds now before it's back up again. This is problematic for Team Secret because they're going to get multiply controlled.
they're building a lot of like mid game for Secret. Like mid one's died a lot of times, and he's died 5 times, so he has like he's pretty much a full spell damage build at this point. He's got Aghanims, Force Staff. He takes the Blood Right damage instead of the 30 attack speed, so I'm assuming he's going to also take the 14% Rupture damage. I think he has to with Aghanims up there. I'd be very surprised if he goes for the stats.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Ancient Apparition just picked up a gem of their own. They're worried about Team Secret's vision. They actually just de-watered about a minute ago the best vision the Team Secret had, that high ground ward around the bottom Dire Shrine, which was the Observer and Sentry. They got rid of that. Now Team Secret are pretty blind on the map. In fact, I'm searching for any Observer ward on the mini-map, and I don't see anything.
Yeah, no vision right now. They're perched up. They're expecting IG to do some kind of smoke because they don't see any movement, anything shown in the mid lane. Now they see Burning. They're going to see he has a fresh BKB, so he has a lot more survivability on him.
Yep.
And Death Prophet as well just finished Lotus Orb and level 18, so he is at a very peak timing with that max exorcism.
Invictus Gaming, all they had to do was be patient about this. Right now, Team Secret do still have a big gold advantage, sitting at just shy of 8.5k. Maboka having a peek towards Roshan. The big man's coming up right now.
The next Rosh is going to be probably the teller of what happens in the rest of this game. It's super important for Secret to get that versus IG's lineup.
Especially if teams are expending their buyback in order to have items to fight. You lose that fight, potentially you lose more. As MP, he's actually bringing it out in the courier right now. So he's got the Basher being delivered.
Maboka going to be able to snipe it. His Vendetta is going to end just before, and he's not able to.
He saw it at the last moment.
Yeah, without Vendetta, it takes like too many hits to try to bring it down as an Nixus has. It takes probably like 3 almost.
This feels like IG are in a bad position, but unless if they smoke and come around the back of Team Secret, this could work for them. Team Secret put down the Observer Ward, which is just trying to get a little bit more vision. It's up on the ramp outside the base of Invictus Gaming on top lane.
Full AC now for Bristle.
Roche.
So Roche has now been spotted by both teams.
Yep. The Razor Illusion will do one, YapzOr will do the other. Even Fest out.
They bring it down super fast on the side of Secret. With this Desolator, with Solar Crest, with the Salt Curse, they have so much minus armor.
Invictus Gaming, however, have to commit the big ultimate, have to commit Exorcism to kill off Roshan, so they flash the field. Roshan is not being done.
Puppey knows that they're there. He actually pinged them out specifically. He probably told KheZu, park yourself in the front line, sir.
Oh, they found Maboka. YapzOr, he brings the vision, they trigger the drum charge, the greatest item in the game as they move towards Maboka. Damn, that damage! It wasn't just even quills, it's the physical damage that KheZu's popping out. Exorcist dumps himself in, looking for a good chrono target. He doesn't have it. OP has to stand his ground. You also have to anything to dodge the damage. It's the Rupture that's not allowing the Death Prophet to be maneuverable during the fight. And yeah, with Exorcism inside YapzOr, they look to go even closer towards the engagement. They may even just do Roshan with that.
Yeah, they know that. I mean, they know OP used his Exorcism since YapzOr stole it.
Yep, so there's no damage.
There's no
damage. They
can't
fight.
Yep, they're going to be able to get this Roche.
It was meant to be IG who had the superior team fight. But right now, everything which is great about that team fight is either being stolen by the Rubik or deleted by the intense physical damage that just gives the advantage, the one man down.
Yeah, Secret keeps getting the exact positioning that they want for the team fights. They seem to always know where IG's positioning is, and they're just like, okay, KheZu, park yourself in the front here. Okay, we get a pick off there, and then the fight gets so split up. That was the first usage of the BKB as well from Burning, and he wasn't able to get anybody from it because it was just KheZu. And KheZu doesn't really care if there's a Razor beating on him.
Yep. And KheZu will push in. He has the, well, Lifestealer has the cheese, I mean the Aegis. KheZu is the man with the cheese, and he needs it for the mana.
KheZu went for the right-click build as well. He didn't take the lifesteal, he's just gone for the attack speed, since he is like the one of the big physical damage dealing cores in this game.
Well, without him, they don't bring down the buildings.
Yep. Very hard for MP to try to be that frontliner. Back to efficiency.
God, they're really going to try and cut it out. Like, I don't know if that's meant to be a heart coming on the Death Prophet, or it's meant to be something like a Rod of Atos. There are 3 melee heroes. How do you stop them from killing you?
Atos doesn't use Vitality Boost anymore.
It doesn't. Crap. It's hard then.
It's okay. No, it's going to be hard. He had it queued up earlier, and then he picked up the booster just to have that extra little HP burst rather than saving for the Reaver.
I'm old school, bro.
It's okay.
Boboka's almost finished up his Yule Scepter. Just needs a little bit more space to do it.
Boboka scouting them out. He sees where a couple of Secret members are, puts down the same ward that got a lot of vision of Secret earlier, and he TPs out again.
It's such a dangerous thing to do, however. Team Secret, like YapzOr could be there at any point with the Gem of Truth sight.
YapzOr now level 18. He's got his max steal. Exorcism is ready to go.
Yeah, he's still got the level 3 Exorcism to push this lane.
This is actually a huge opportunity for them here to go for the Siege Aegis Cheese Exorcism. If they see somebody there to get a Blink Initiation, this could be absolutely huge for Secret here.
I'll see who they find. OP is the one who's probably the most exposed of all next to the tower. He has Q nearby, but they're pressuring the mid lane as well. That's the Crystal Maiden doing that. Now, where is this wraparound? Next Assassin, he's still playing around the bottom lane. He's not here to be part of the fight just yet. IG split up. Here goes Chronosphere over on KheZu with the Ice Blast. They want to bring this Bristle back down low. YapzOr still waiting for a good opportunity to fight with that stolen Exorcism. There's calls everywhere, and MP runs through the thick of it to the front lines. Burning's BKB is now expanded. They want more fight. Mid one actually rupturing himself as the Lotus Orb protects OP. They are holding the high ground for the moment, but Exorcism is down in just a second. OP can at least get the life back from that. Exorcism has to time walk himself out of this.
Both teams so afraid to fully commit.
Yep. With Exorcism down, however, Team Secret had to feel a lot more confident about this now.
But they don't have their Exorcism now.
No, but they still have their Bristle back.
Yeah.
They still have the Aegis, they still have the cheese.
Absolutely. YapzOr tried to steal the Chrono there too. He actually used Exorcism, blinked in right on the outside of the Chrono. He tried to steal, but he got time dilation. It did help a bit though, slowing down some of IG's aggression. But unable to fully commit, like you said, that reflected rupture, that Lotus Orb paying off already.
Gotta remember that about Faceless Void. Just because with the game yesterday with KheZu, he was always stealing Time Walker, he was stealing Chronosphere. I don't think once he actually got stuck with Time Dilation. And I'd say stuck, it's still a fantastic ability.
Yeah, it's still a good spell. I mean, of course, he wants the Chrono because they need that extra lockdown. They really only have Rubik Lift and a CM Frostbite for their actual kind of like chase and catch. Rupture doesn't really count when you're trying to siege high ground. You can't really just run in after a Rupture.
Here they go again. YapzOr.
He got boots of travel. Did he just buy full boots of travel on the courier? He did.
Did he? Yeah, the courier's bringing in BTs.
He didn't even disassemble his arcane boots. He's just like, nope, I want full bots.
Just drop down this Observer Ward. Puppey, congratulations. You are now our hard 8th.
YapzOr's catching up to MP in network. MP spending a lot of time infested though, so that will kind of happen.
Yeah. Because the fact that YapzOr's looking to build an Aghanim Scepter.
YapzOr's level 18 and MP's only 17. MP's actually pretty underleveled. He's been spending a little bit too much time maybe infested. He's 0-0-7, so he hasn't gotten any credit for those kills either.
Here they go. MP beats into the town. Backdoor regeneration is going to protect it. And Invictus Gaming with that hidden Observer Ward, they're trying to see as much as they possibly can in this upcoming fight, but they're not there. They're not looking to fight. Burning's Plasma Field and OP's Crypt Swarm, it does mop up the creep waves pretty quickly. But on bottom lane, XSS is continuously putting side pressure in. Maybe this is the other reason why the BT pickup is so important.
Yeah, definitely.
Except they send the Bristle back down here to defend it, so maybe not so much. Mass Lotus Orbs are arriving for Invictus Gaming. So they got one on the Razor as well as the Death Prophet now.
And we said, what, AA we had one queued up. He actually changed from that one, though. He's going for the Aghanims.
He kind of needs to. Yeah, without that fear of the Ice Blast, Team Secret are going to continuously move up into the high ground, into your base.
He just wants a bigger item. Getting like another Lotus Orb. They already have two. Like a third one is not really going to be like a make or break in this game.
Well, here comes IG. I don't know how far they want to go out, however. They walk straight out underneath the Observer Ward.
They noticed it, though. Q was actually pinging that high ground ward.
Yep.
So they definitely were aware that it was there. They just are afraid of the positioning of Secret since they don't see anybody going back to stop the Void. They don't see anyone with their vision that they have in the top area.
And Void's being a fantastic nuisance. As long as he keeps his pressure on, there's always a chance that you get a better trade-off. And even if Team Secret do win the fight, they get one lane of Rax, they'll need to wipe Invictus Gaming out, make sure they don't have buybacks in order to take more than that. But we hit the action time, 40-minute mark begins, so the double runes start spawning up.
We saw what happened last time these double runes came out, especially with the Death Prophet in the game. There's arcane runes aplenty, DDs aplenty as well. The team with the map control though is the ones who claim that, and it's Secret who does have the full map control right now, so they're going to be the ones who can take advantage of the runes. And I wonder if they're going to pick up a bottle as well. We have seen, like we mentioned in that last time IG was playing versus Planet Odd, they had a bottle and it was extremely value at this point in the game.
Yeah. But for now, it needs to, well, someone else may. Would you ask one of your already poor supports to buy you a bottle so you can finish your Octarine?
Well, IG they don't have the map control against those runes just yet. So maybe once, if they're able to like assert their dominance, assert like a fight that they can actually push out into, then maybe, but not just yet.
Yeah. Well, at least IG have the confidence to move as a unit. It's almost a perfect line going down through their jungle. The Boka will have to move out to scout out. He's not finding anyone for the moment.
KheZu now, full Abyssal Blade. He's got Lotus Orb queued up too. So that's actually a little bit of extra form of lockdown, and his damage it's starting to add up. As long as he keeps his Warpath going, as long as they have like the Desolator applied, they actually have pretty good damage to bring down that Prophet.
Man, I don't know if YapzOr is scared or if like he fade-balled at the bottom lane and then just TP'd straight up to the top to join the rest of his team. Or if he went up there just to make sure they're ready for the fight.
They're just expecting fights. They don't really see IG coming out of their base too much. They don't have any information really on the map. Roche is also coming up, can be spawning pretty soon, so you don't want to get picked off like before Roche spawns. It can be pretty game losing.
But they still have to watch it. You talked about like, the team's not wanting to commit to the engagements. If you have an Aegis Immortal, you'll feel like you've got enough where you potentially can take more risks. And that kind of confidence could definitely pay off to bite you in the butt. Like if Team Secret lose a push going up into high ground, Invictus Gaming gets straight back in this match.
Yeah, they're still tier 2 up in the mid lane, but yeah, bottom lane is open for
Oh, that's really lucky if they scout this out. That Roshan spawn timer is so quick.
It's back, yep.
Yep.
They should probably walk in and see it, or
Puppey can Nova. Yeah, he's nearby. But Burning is starting his pressure down the mid lane. Here with OP. Might take their attention for a little bit longer.
Secret's ready for a fight. They deliver a smoke out. Infest comes out onto YapzOr.
Burning scouts Roshan, so Invictus Gaming are aware he's alive, and thanks to Roshan walking outside the pit, the Observer Ward of Team Secret can scout it as well. So both teams now know where the next fight is. It's Roshan.
Octarine finished up on Death Prophet.
Have they... Okay, so Smoke, 5-man from Invictus Gaming, Team Secret. They're looking to come up through the north. Now the Observer Wards are there for Invictus Gaming.
They know exactly where they are. Like, YapzOr literally just pinged right on top of IG. They know the fight's there. KheZu's in the way.
Right in the middle, just starts his run in. Baboka's going to miss his stun. Now he can set up with your Ruptures. MP, the Chronosphere from Exodus, that doesn't hit anything. The Ice Blast, however, that will be a lot more effective. KheZu, 4-staffed away. He can't take any more damage from Burning. He does go critical. Puppey holding the Life Stealer inside of him will turn as YapzOr stuns, creating a little bit more space so Puppey can walk out of this one with a Blood Right. It's not enough damage. Burning in the tree lines. Puppey starts his ultimate. It won't kill off Burning. 3 heroes down for Team Secret. This is not what they wanted to have happen. This is exactly what IG needed. A fight outside the base with Roshan available. But can they do it? They've burned Exorcism. They're not going for it. They're going to let it go.
Literally, he hit nobody with the Chrono, but their team fight is just a bit too overwhelming still on the side of IG. KheZu, I believe, actually used the cheese as well while he was still under the AA blast. It was like the last tick of the AA blast, and he got hit once by Razor. He tried to turn around and cheese and go onto Burning, but yep, still being affected by that AA blast, unable to cheese through it.
A huge moment for Invictus Gaming. They are going to go inside of Roshan. If they get a back out from Team Secret, this may be worth it, but Team Secret, their Observer Ward still watched Invictus Gaming go inside the pit. Maybe not the greatest vision because it is nighttime. Roshan dropping low. Lifesteal's up in 2 seconds. Mid one. He's trying to actually get a little bit of vision. They're going to pop out, but Roshan's so low. Invictus Gaming, they've done this much work. They have to commit. Bristle's up in 8 seconds time, but what are you committing to? Are you trying to take this fight? Puppey doesn't have his freezing field. You've got the bite, but again, this blood circle drawn down the Ruptures on Baboka. He has to stand his ground. Roshan's coming out, and Puppey, there's a little bit of a frost. Baboka's losing a lot of life. You're going to frost each other. You'll scepter up. Puppey, that bait. It holds Evoker in position, allows mid-1 to find the kill, and now KheZu is going to finish the job. Invictus Gaming, if they put him on a silver platter, Burning wants to go into this fight. BKB out, the Chronosphere is down, the Ice Blast as well. It hits on KheZu. The Quill Spray is slowly killing off Roshan. That's actually what gets it, but the Roshan, Aegis is snatched down, so you'll have an extra one. Or will you? Puppey, Freezing Field is down. OP needs to fight. The silence will cancel. Exit says he's still here, ready to go. One hit, he jumps away from Puppey. No Frost Blast. YapzOr, the Urn Charge. It'll take him down. 1 second till Time Walk. He should be able to survive. There's your leap forward. Aegis the Immortal is salvaged for XXS.
He got the cheese too. He got both.
He got both of them?
He got both.
Oh, this rupture control though from mid-1 is causing absolute headaches for Invictus Gaming, but they can kill him off right now. Remove our team fight recap and we'll see mid-1 stuck on a hill. The Ice Blast is flying in, but he's already dead. OP will take the streak, and that streak is worth 543 gold. The money should start rolling the way of Invictus Gaming now.
Secret's just struggling to get damage out in the fights. Like MP just gets like linked up, or KheZu gets linked up, and they're unable to really do any damage to this Death Prophet, especially now that she has Octarine finished up. The heal that comes out from Exorcism, from Spirit Siphon, it's way too much. On top of that, with Ice Vortex and the AA Blast, this AA Blast is actually turning the tides of a lot of these fights. Like Open Wound doesn't work, Feast doesn't work, none of their healing, Blood Rage as well. It's really counteracting a lot of what Secret's potential in the fights it does actually have, and it's really problematic when YapzOr doesn't get a steal on an Exorcism or a steal on a Chronosphere. It just seems like they struggle so heavily in these engagements.
Yeah, Invictus Gaming with just better positioning, and this is very similar to game 1. You hit that 40-minute mark or roughly there, and all of a sudden the tide just turns the other way. It was LFY yesterday who did it. This time around, it's Invictus Gaming. It's going to get worse. The Aghanim Scepter just flew out for the Ancient Apparition. So the control is even better now in the fights. Yep,
that 17-second duration is really going to hinder Secret.
Yep. The second that Ice Blast hits, whoever it connects on, they have to disengage. There's no other choice, or else they'll die.
There's so much catch though on IG. It's very hard for them to really disengage. It's looking extremely problematic now for Secret. MP, he's got Diffusal Blade finished up now, so he's had a little bit of better catch, but
now you also have an Assault Cuirass over on the Faceless Void. That hunt for OP is not too far off either. He's got the Reaver sitting in his backpack. I wonder if he even just like, do you sell the cheese and take the heart?
No, never sell cheese.
It's worth good money, man.
Not enough. Maybe if it was worth like triple. Maybe.
Still gonna do the same thing there at the heart. The only thing you gain extra is the mana.
Damn it, Toby. Don't sell cheese, guys. Don't listen to this guy.
Venomet's jungle is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's go for all the triggers. Alright, so Team Secret, what do they do now? Like, they've lost control of this game. The gold is almost back to 0. How do they get in? Like, they've tried time and time again, and they've failed multiple times. How do you play around this Invictus Gaming team fight and 5-man ball?
I mean, if they can somehow get the Void, but the problem is, he's got an Aegis now, he's super tanky, Lincoln Sphere, AC, he's pretty much unkillable by them. I saw that MP did have a Orchid queued up for himself, but like we said, he doubled back for a Diffusal Blade, so they don't have that kind of like instant silence. They only have like one disable pretty much on the side of Secret to do that, so it's pretty impossible for them actually just to take a straight up team fight. They have to get like some kind of pick off before it happens, because even KheZu being in the front lines, they can focus fire him very easily now.
Yep.
The amount of damage that comes out from Death Prophet from AA is just way too much.
That's why he's looking for more immunity, going in for the BKB choice.
Yeah.
So this will be a 10-second BKB for the fight. The upside of picking it up close to the 50-minute mark. Long duration in late game fights.
Death Prophet level 25, heart finished.
Nice Aghanim Scepter for the Rubik. I'm not exactly certain what he steals, which gets buffed up by this, but having the lower cooldown time definitely will help.
Yeah, the cooldown thing is the big one. I mean, if you can get like AA Blast, that would be amazing, but that's like the most impossible spell to actually get to steal.
He's always on the back line. It's just too far away.
Backline, he's just got spammable Ice Vortex. He has so many spells that he can use like instantly to not let his get stolen. But yeah, the frequency of spell stealing it could be quite nice. If he can get an Exorcism and then he can steal like a Chronosphere, that's such a hard thing to do. they can actually win fights.
It's like YapzOr. If you want to carry this entire game by yourself, that's what you can do.
He's gotten it a couple times.
He has. He has. But IG are being a lot better about it now. And Faceless Void with the Lincoln Sphere, you still have to break that Lincoln's in order to get any kind of steal.
Yeah. He just timing out.
Yep. So they've managed to dodge that at least, Team Secret.
Yeah, but the big problem is the net worth and experience. It is completely
where
swung
did
down.
The cheese go from OP?
It's on burning.
It's on burning?
Yeah, nice try, Toby. He did not sell it. He does have the hard finish, though.
I saw the hard get finished shortly after we discussed it. I'm like, could it happen?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're all just, honestly, everybody on the side of IG, except for like, the Nyx Assassin and the AA, are just so damn durable at this point. Razor, Shiva's Guard, BKB, Lotus Orb, sitting at like 40 armor. Look at his Death Prophet as well. 4,000 HP, 30 armor. Void, not even going to say it because he's pretty much unkillable too. 32 armor, Lincoln Sphere, AC. It's
I don't even know how you're meant to push into the base as well. Like, Crypt Swarm itself is able just to mop up every single creep wave that comes close. Yep. So Team Secret can't keep their creeps alive to enter the base. The only way they win this game is by killing off everyone in Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, they need to kill, they need to somehow get the backline. If they can get the AA and the Nyx, or even to somehow kill this Void instantly, then they can try to have a proper team fight, but it's still very difficult with
You're going to have to get the perfect positioning, and they can't even keep vision on the map, so getting this positioning, okay, hello, OP caught out of position, Lotus Orb, they're going to stun each other up with the Abyssal Blaze, extra support's coming in from Invictus Gaming, however, OP, will he survive? MP and KheZu, they want him down, they've got him with a Chronosphere, will catch the 2 cores, here comes your Ice Blast, connects on MP, Puppey, letting the ulti go, YapzOr in through the rear, he doesn't get enough, he only saw Vortex, now he steals Spy Carapace, and he kind of space, YapzOr, can you create it? Battling under the shrine, KheZu was able to survive a little bit longer as the Ice Blast, it'll wear off in a second, he needs just that little bit more time, and YapzOr has brought it for him, now the blood rides down, Baboka, he will pop, Invictus Gaming getting picked off one after the other, they even committed their buyback to get this fight in their hands. And they don't.
Perfect opportunity there. They see him segregated from the rest of his team, and with that Diffusal Blade being picked up on the Lifestealer, he's able to instantly purge off the Yules. He gets dropped down and he gets killed. The pickup from the Diffusal on MP was actually super value right there.
And this is problematic. That's also Bristleback showing that he can tank through the Ice Blast if they don't properly focus him.
Yeah, well, they don't have Exorcism Gong. That's their big damage dealer still in these fights.
But the more armor you build up, the more life you start to build up over on KheZu.
Yeah.
Like, is it actually still worth him having the hood or switching that out into something else later on? Like, can you get more value out of another, like, just stats-wise, out of any other item than just finishing a full pipe? Oh, XSS,
since he
ruptured up, throw him down. Puppey wants to come and join the engagement, and Faceless Void's got nowhere to go. He can't Time Walk off this damage. Time Walk's even stolen by YapzOr, so he'll keep up with it, and that's the reason why. Time Walk your way into oblivion.
They're getting picked off super heavily right there. Like, XSS was farming the enemy jungle alone, completely by himself.
Yep.
Being able to just get his Lincolns broken by the steel, then he gets frostbitten, then he gets silent. Very bizarre position there.
Whoop. Calais. As the brain lag seems to have extended from the Faceless Void into the game.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, man. You've played this game for now 53 minutes. You've got quite a loud crowd here. A lot of pressure. The lights are flashing everywhere as well. You've got to keep your focus up. And Invictus Gaming, maybe this is a good time for them to think about the reset. Yeah. You've got really great high ground defense. This is where Team Secret can come undone. But you'll be committing another buyback. You already used one for the Death Prophet. You'll have to use it for the Faceless Void here, unless they can just nuke the creep waves down. And that's what Burning and OP are looking to do. Plasma Field not going out yet. The Static Link stealing the damage MP. They will burn Fortification. They don't want to use the secondary buyback.
Those 2 deaths are so critical, though. That pretty much puts Secret into another position to even be okay in this game.
That bottom lane, it looks pretty heavy. I don't think it's enough to kill off the tower straight away, but it's going to be enough where Team Secret wonder if they get the better trade. KheZu's going to come in. The Spirit Siphon, he's dropping down low. MP moves forward, attacking to OP, burning in a bad position. KheZu threw him right there for the Ice Blast. It chills up KheZu. They have to return, but YapzOr, he actually stole the Ice Blast, and he hits Invictus Gaming. The call's with it down. OP's got nowhere to go. Buyback from Faceless Void will finally come out. OP, the cheese will give him life. KheZu, he's still low. Here's your Chronosphere from XSS. This is the fight now from Invictus Gaming. Nowhere to run. KheZu will fall on down. He's trying to outrun the Exorcism, but it will not work. Bloodseeker, the sole survivor. Invictus Gaming, it cost them with buybacks, but they do defend.
He got the AA blast, but it just missed the Death Prophet. I think if it actually would have clipped him, he wouldn't have been able to use the cheese there, and it would have gotten him killed. But still, beautiful steal coming out from YapzOr. But yep, they forced the buyback from the Void, but they do lose 4, unfortunately, for Secret.
Invictus Gaming get unlucky. Roshan's been spawning up so quickly for Team Secret. This time, IceFrog seems to hate Invictus Gaming. Yep. They have to wait almost the full 3-minute duration. But, well, go for other objectives. Go down the mid with Death Prophet as well as Faceless Void.
Double catapult wave.
Maybe force 1 buyback. That's kind of what they need.
They don't have the greatest siege with these 2 heroes. Sure, he's got AC finished on Void, but Exorcism's cooldown, so yep, they got to actually just back up.
They're still pinging out and looking towards Roshan. It's a fake Bloodseeker they're running into at the moment, killing off. Well, in fact, 2 fake Bloodseekers, which they are killing off around Roshan.
We're about to have level 25 on Rubik, so he'll probably... The thing is that the cooldown reduction is so good, but the 400 telekinesis land distance with Rupture and pulling the people out of the base, I'm sure he's going to actually take this one this game.
Well, his telekinesis grab on Burning really set that fight up for Team Secret, so you could definitely see him justifying it.
Can't believe we're talking about a level 25 Rubik, and he's going to be the first level 25 on his team, or second level 25 on his team.
I was about to say, who else is short at the moment?
Mid one's only 22, MP's 22 as well. Yeah, he's 25 now on Rubik. He takes the 400 telekinesis distance. Could be pretty nice with Rupture.
You're seeing Invictus Gaming trying to prepare themselves for the high ground defense too. Like Baboka's looking for an Aghanim Scepter, anything which is able to help stall up and keep Team Secret away. Because Team Secret don't have things like Batrider, which has been one of the best things to try and grab Nyx Assassin out of that well, burrowed up, or any kind of jump initiator clockwork. They just don't exist in this game for Secret.
OP has an Arcane Rune on Death Prophet. IG smokes up right away. They're looking to take an engagement with this. Top lane is absolutely massive coming in onto Secret's side. There's 11 range creeps, 2 catapult. It's actually one of the bigger waves I've seen.
Someone give that man some farm. Invictus Gaming with this smoke up. Who are they going to walk into? They go up the hill, and it's YapzOr. He blinks away. He breaks the smoke. Baboka misses his son as well. Puppey, he clips up himself. They have to drop the Observer Ward to see Puppey. But where is your detection? He hides under the Glimmer Cave. They know he's there. Chronosphere separates up the fight. Here comes your Ice Blast. It's on KheZu, but YapzOr! The 3-man Chrono! Stolen with the silence damage. KheZu is still getting the Quill Sprays down. The damage output, however, the BKB is the only thing protecting him. The physical damage from Burning finally able to get through. Baboka will also fall. Invictus Gaming have lost too much. They got separated and done with their own fight. Somebody kill him. Rubik, he needs to go down. XSS is on the run out of here. KheZu, he BT'd forward, looking for the target. Great time walking to blink away before he can get hit by absolutely anything. He'll need a little bit more movement speed as a Blood Rite is down once more. They want this kill. Keep running XSS. He needs to get home, back to safety.
There's no Death Prophet for 100 seconds. Stolen Chrono, stolen Exorcism. He did it, Toby. He got both.
They got the Rupture. XSS, he's just trying to run himself out of the amplification. What do you steal? Time Walk to pick up YapzOr. Look at that throw distance. We've got ourselves a quarterback. YapzOr making the plays for the team. And Team Secret, they're inside the base. They are the first ones to claim a melee ranks, and they're not going to stop here. As you said, with no Death Prophet, there is no defense for Invictus Gaming.
Oh my god, I cannot believe they just turned that one. It wasn't just, of course, the Chrono steal was beautiful, the Exorcism steal was a lot, but it wasn't the damage that was coming out that was needed from Secret. The Rupture in that fight actually did it. I think he did like 3,000 damage to Death Prophet. He was running around with Rupture on him for quite a long time.
Oh, Burning. He needs any kind of damage he can get. 220, 260, let the damage go up. He ends at 336, but now Ruptured. Run back inside, delay this. He has to move up even further. KheZu keeps himself turned around. It's only the side damage, but Burning is dying. He'll have to buy back. XSS throws the Chrono out. Here comes your Ice Blast. It will connect over on KheZu. No damage, just the debuff. Puppey letting it go in front of the tower. He has to get pushed back, however. As Razor is bought back, the mid lane, the bot lane are an absolute disaster for Invictus Gaming. They still hold the top, denying the megas for Team Secret.
Buybacks though, that big buyback there. KheZu doesn't have his, so Secret wants to reset. They probably expect the Roshan to be up as it is. And YapzOr there in the last second, he stole Ice Blast. He's got it ready for the next fight.
Oh, he does.
He has Ice Blast ready. And this Rosh is
Concerning for
dying
Invictus
very
Gaming.
fast.
They're coming out to try and contest Roshan. They'll move quickly. Where's that Ice Blast from Q? Is not up just yet. Roshan, he's so low, 100 HP and now gone. They have the Aegis, they have the Chiefs burning in the middle of the fight. Exism committed up by OP. KheZu trying to stay inside the pit as we'll go frame by frame through this fight. The Ice Blast moves forward. MP chilled up. That's not a good thing for a lifestealer. He can no longer do what his name is. However, when you infest inside of mid one, you've got defensiveness, and on the back line, KheZu, he's still fighting 3-on-1 while OP, the damage dealer, Team Secret, need to kill him off. They haven't done it yet. The Chronosphere is out. It's clipped Puppey on the back coattails. He will fall. Buyback will come in from the Bloodseeker. Back to the front lines again. It's KheZu, the man who's been trying to battle this entire IG lineup. Another BKB off from him as Burning starts to steal the damage. Get the distance out. IG, run away as fast as you possibly can. Still no Death Prophet once more. Baboka, the stun, space creation. Mid one's here as well. The Rupture up one. They're looking for the target. It's Burning. He's the last damage dealer in their lineup, and they don't have him anymore. This should be the game. 3 heroes down with no way to come back to the world of the living.
Oh my god, dude. He gets the Ice Blast on the Death Prophet there, unable to lifesteal throughout the fight with his Exorcism active. This game. YapzOr it's GG.
They've done it.
The Ruptures and YapzOr, like, these guys have just been, wow. That was some incredible team play coming out. Secret. IG making a couple big mistakes though in that game. The Death Prophet getting caught out in the jungle that one time, and then the Void as well afterwards. It pretty much negated a lot of their advantage that they closed the distance from on Secret. That was super well played though by Secret, kind of coming back into that game after